Newsflash, you can play Altissimo, you just don't know it. There's only really one big difference between you and someone like Junior Walker, and that is confidence and intention. For example, if you're practicing and you squeak and you just do something like, and you do that, you think you've made a mistake. Whereas if you're Junior Walker, he made his living out of doing what you do every day. So here's what we're going to do with your Altissimo. I'm going to show you that you can do the Altissimo. It's just that you think it's a squeak and you need to be more confident. Right, first of all, get yourself a front F fingering. If you don't know what a front F fingering is, it's like playing a normal octave A, but move your first finger up to that key there, which is called the front F key. And I want you to squeak, and I want you to hold it, okay? Like this. All right, the squeaks, guys, are just altissimo notes. Now, if you're playing alto, do exactly the same thing. You're going to play your front F and try and get some squeaks going. All right, so front F. I'm on the old Better Sax Black Bomber today. Right, that goes to show if you can do any of those squeaks, you can play altissimo. Then it's a question of taming it. Now here's the key thing to remember. Everybody tries to start off doing the hardest altissimo notes, namely G and G sharp. It makes sense that you think logically to go and creep up and start getting higher from your regular range, but they're actually the hardest notes. So let's try another one. This time I want you to do 1, 3, 1, 3, and E flat key, okay, and the octave key, and just try and get some squeaks. And if you can get any of those squeaks, you're playing altissimo, you just thought it was a squeak. Let's do a third fingering before I make my next point. You're just going to hold that front F key on its own, not the front F, but just the front key with the octave key, and then see if you can get a squeak. Perfect. Now, what we want to do is start holding those squeaks, and then we want to work our way down. Okay, we're going to start with the highest harmonics and then work our way down. So let's go back to that front F, and the most common note that you'll find that you'll get using that front F is an altissimo D. Okay. So if you use your front F, you're probably going to get that note on tenor. Let me very quickly demonstrate that in case you've got your alto in front of you. I'll try not to switch around too much because it's the theory that really matters. So here's your D. Okay, and that's using the front F fingering. Switch back to tenor. Now this time you're just going to try and hold the squeak that you get. Let's hold that squeak. That's the alto pitch, isn't it? Now, if you can hold that note, that means that you can play altissimo D, and that's brilliant. So next time you're practicing and you squeak, hold the squeak, and then try and do the squeak again, because guess what? You're playing altissimo, you've got it all covered, and you didn't realize. Right, let's say that you're on tenor, and you're trying to play that nemesis note now, that G on tenor, which everyone says is the hardest note. So you've got your front F key there, and you've got your side B flat, which is one of the most popular ways of playing high G. Okay, and you've got your altissimo fingering, and you're following your altissimo book and whatever you've got. You try and play that G, which should sound like this. Well, guess what? That's one of the most unstable altissimo notes. G is horrible on tenor. I'm going to give you a better fingering in a minute. But what might happen is that you try and get that G, then this happens. You can only get that. Okay, great. In that case, hold that note as soon as it happens. Once you've got control of it and you can recreate it, that's then under your control, and you then know what to avoid in order to get the one below it. So what note is that? Ba. That's a D. So now you know you can play Altissimo D. And then you try and drop down to a lower note, but you know how to get the top D. So let's see if we can now get a lower one. Rather than trying from the low one and getting a top one, and then you keep avoiding that note because you think it's so horrible. So this is what people typically do. And you get all annoyed. Instead, hold that top note and then see if you can drop it down to the G. Now, once you can do that, then you try and recreate the G because you know what it feels like in your voicing. And try not to blow too hard when you do your Altissimo. That's another mistake that a lot of people make. I know I haven't talked about the specifics of voicing yet. That's, you know, I've done a whole video. I'll link the my Altissimo video. But don't overblow. It's actually the Altissimo, although, you know, the temptation is to think of them as these loud screaming notes. You actually have to kind of coax them out of your horn a bit more. So next time you're playing Altissimo, just try slowing down the air. Everybody says raise your tongue, faster airstream. That is absolute rubbish. The airstream for Altissimo notes is slower than it is on the low notes, okay? The Altissimo speed of the air is slower and you have to coax the notes out. Right, so next time you're practicing Altissimo, here's the lesson that you've learned today. Go for the high screamer that comes out, hold it, and then try and work out what note that is, and then just, you know, file that away in your saxophone grey matter. Huh, who knew I can play an Altissimo D? Then try and drop it down to the lower note to see if you can get it. Now, I did say that there's a better fingering for that G on tenor, which, by the way, you can do using your B key and your high F sharp key if you've got one. I don't have one, so I can't demonstrate that. But that's the message for today's video. Remember, I'm making some shorter, sharper, a bit more rough and ready videos just to try and create content every week. But this is a really valuable lesson because so many people are giving up on their Altissimo, but actually they've already got it. But you know what it's called? A squeak. So your squeak is Junior Walker's bread and butter, okay, or Lenny Pickett's bread and butter. So like I started this video, next time you're practicing and you might be going, hold that squeak. Because now you can probably play in a double G and sound like, you know, some of your greatest heroes who play Altissimo. Right, that's what I've got for you today. I've got loads of cool stuff in my Saxophone Success Masterclass. The link is there. Please do use that resource. If you want access to me every day, day in, day out, with loads of other cool stuff, we just had a special live guest in the inner circle, the one and only Blue Lou Marini from the Blues Brothers, who's played with everybody massive on the planet. That was an incredible live session. That's the sort of stuff you get in the inner circle. And you might think you're subscribed, but just have a little check. And if you're not, hit the subscribe button. I'm pushing to get the old 100K. That would be a lovely landmark for me, and you can help me out. And it's your way of saying thank you for these videos. So until next week, make sure that you practice hard, practice smart, and enjoy your music, enjoy your Altissimos. See you later. Newsflash, you can spit pork. In Junior Walker's world, he just goes...